left off, I was going to take the old 58 for a maiden voyage. Well, yeah, kinda. It was like that. I went down and parked right in front of City Hall and paid my water bill and everything, and the mayor wasn't around, so I didn't get a chance to chat with him. But at any rate, oh, she ran good, and I pulled out to the intersection to pull out on a main street. No tail lights, no brake lights, no turn signals, and there's the highway patrol sitting right there, right at rush hour. So I did what every good citizen will do in the middle of traffic like that, is I rolled down the window and I stuck out my arm. Yep. I don't think very many people remember that part in the book about vehicles with no turn indicators and hand signals. It sure didn't seem like they remembered that part very much, but the highway patrol didn't care. I think he was probably busy on his cell phone or something, but at any rate, we ran on out to the insurance office and we got all legal-like and everything, you know. I was covered as long as I got out to there, and so I did, and it ran good, and pulled out on the highway and was headed back to town, and man, it was running really strong at the moment. Anyway, she ran out of gas, and I couldn't figure out. I just put 7 or 8 gallons in it the other day, and I pulled into Gary's Auto, and I know all them guys. I went to school with their parents and fiddled around with it, and I looked in there, and I didn't have tool 1 in that old pickup. Not one, not even a screwdriver. Yep, it was one of those days where you just drove off into the sunset. Well, the sun was not setting. It started raining and blowing like the monsoons of the West, you know. So I did what every good friend will do. I called my friend, and him and his buddy were held up in a motorhome, just relaxing in a nice warm motorhome. And I drug them out, and we fiddled with it for half hour. We went into town and got fuel and put more fuel in it. Is when he told me that he's had a gas thief around his place he was trying to catch, and he's only a block and a half from me from here. Anyway, I said, well, they must have got me too. Well, we ended up hooking the chain on it and getting it home, and on the way home I ran it in 4th gear with the key on, and it never did pump up that fuel pump, and that was a brand new Evil Bay fuel pump. So you guys kind of watch yourselves, you know. Some of that stuff cannot be relied upon, but at any rate, we got her home, and I found another fuel pump. I had one here I thought would fit, and it was a small block Chevy, so it wasn't even close. So I went over to Dad's shop, and he had an electric one on his toolbox sitting there. Pops left us in March, and I'm in charge of both shops now. Well, it was just like he knew I needed a fuel pump. All right, have a good evening. I'll update you as things progress. Now, this is what I'm talking about. We're getting down to some real mechanic work here now. Come on. First line out of the fuel tank, you know, up and over the top. Wire, essential wire, fuel line. This is really highly technical stuff here, guys. Insert. That tight bend there at the end isn't going to let you go all the way around it. Ain't happening. You can tell right away if it's smooth feeling or if it's really rough and hard to pull and it's scratchy, gets hung up. But this one, hear it? Yeah, that's pretty decent tube. Then pull it back out again. Look at your wire. rub it off in your fingers. There ain't nothing hardly but old shellac fuel on there. We're gonna run it. Blue can. Yeah, we still use that stuff. Anyway, in the end, oh, it's really helpful if some of it actually goes in the tool, but oh, like that, see? Oh, like that, see? Up. Pretty basic, guys. I mean, I think I can do this. I'm a maybe. Okay, now we decided that we're gonna reuse our original equipment fuel line, the steel one, because we're confident that the inside's gonna last another 350 million years. You know, the Planet of the Apes will evolve again, probably, but just don't spray it all over your camera lens. It sucks. It takes you like weeks to clean that off your camera lens. You might have to even get a new camera. You know, I mean, it probably damaged it. You know, that new one you've been looking at for Christmas. Anyway, give it a little shot. Just barely enough, just get it wet. Spin it around a few times till it's just like brand new again, right? You know, steel loves oil. It really does. I'm not a chemist, so I can't tell you what steel's made out of, but steel likes oil. I know that. And if you're running some iron around, you don't go nowhere without any oil. That's just the way it is. Get used to the idea, and it costs lots of money right now. We all know who to thank for that. 58, update on the 58. The fuel pump wasn't bad. We got an electric fuel pump. We actually ordered another mechanical fuel pump. The one that's on it's probably not bad. What happened is the standpipe in the fuel tank, where it picks up the gas inside the fuel tank, is finally just rusted over shut. I mean, it ain't gonna go no longer. So what we're gonna do is replace that standpipe, which there's no real cool way to do that other than build something that's like the sending unit in it. I'll build all the parts and then show you, but this bulkhead, really cool deal. You can get them at the truck shops. Okay, and we're gonna sandwich a washer underneath like that. The gasket that we're making, I'll show you how to cut out them holes if you don't want to use scissors or an X-Acto knife or whatever. Comes out there really nice, perfect holes. Go down, measure it all out so it's up off the bottom, that kind of stuff. And yeah, we're gonna have to drill a pretty big ass hole in the top of the tank to make it all work. So be it. Alright, we're gonna peen a gasket, okay? Okay, peening the gasket, that's what I call it. This one here, as you can see, one side is sharper on this edge right here than the other side, right? This one's a little rounded over in there. So it's the sharp side that you want to choose to peen your gasket, because it's actually going to be what's cutting the gasket material. Okay, so what we got is a circle drawn. You know, it's pretty elementary. You put the, yeah, okay. Anyway, this washer was a frame washer off my truck. Anyway, doesn't matter what it's off of. This edge here is probably the most stable circle on the You know, the other side's got a little dip and stuff. You know, what'll happen is gasket material will just follow that dip if that's what you want to cut. Little tiny peen and hammer. I use the round end, guys, right? This end ain't gonna do nothing on this particular project. Use the round end, right? This is an old piece of railroad iron. You want to back up. It don't matter what it is. There goes the furnace. Ain't that lovely? Anyway, let's get back. Peen in the gasket. See, there it goes again. It won't last long now. Anyway, what you're trying to do is tap on the top of this gasket material like this and use the edge of that washer to cut the gasket material. It's just peening the gasket. Kind of funny. When I started out as a kid, this is the first thing I learned how to do, was peen a gasket. Couldn't afford gaskets, didn't have money for that. You know, this is really heavy cork gasket, so we're gonna have to get somewhat aggressive with this little hammer. Could have used a little bit bigger hammer, but this little peen and anyway, let's take a look. See if it worked. See there? It's coming right out. We might have to tap on this one side a little bit more. Let's do that. Finish it out. Round side down against the steel. You want it backed up. I use this old railroad iron. You could use an anvil. You could use the back side of your vise. Whatever works for you. Whatever you got around that you do stuff like this on. It needs to be solid. Solid backup. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can get it to come out this time. There it is. See that? Makes a really nice gasket. Real nice fit. Okay, let's peen in the gasket. We're gonna let me assemble this thing and I'll get you a shot of that, what we're doing. We're getting ready to make a standpipe that goes in the fuel tank. Because this goes like this, right? This is the outside of the fuel tank. What we're concerned with is the inside of the fuel tank, like that. So what we're going to do is cut this off once we know how long, and we're going to use a standard cap and drill a hole in the top of it so it comes through there, that this pipe will go through, and then we'll have our nut. This is my little mill drill. We're going to pinch it in here in the vise because I know this fixture is solid. Okay, don't forget to pull your parallels back out. It sucks when you drill into your nice parallels. Not paying attention. This one here, I measured this one, and it's right on 312. In this instance, the guy wants to measure and center up on the bore. Tighten the quills right there so we can get closer. Good enough. Here we go. Just kind of ease into that. Let me look again now that it's spinning. Looks pretty good. Let's engage. Nice and easy like. Nice light touch to it. You're boring with an end mill, which they are designed to do that, but they're not designed to punch like a drill bit. You know, there it is. See how easy that was? It was nice. You could do that in a drill press. You just gotta be careful. Don't let the drill bit, you know, bite into the material. When you're handling these end mills, don't, especially carbide ones, they're very non-forgiving. You drop that on the deck of your milling machine or the vise or something like that, more than likely you're going to chip a corner. And that's gonna suck. I mean, you'll just have to use it as a second until you can get a new one, or go get a new one out of the package, you know. Okay.